next we have a trio of folks presenting. Pam Moses, Rosalie Waters, and Shelly Blythe. And we'll let you guys just come on up and you can rotate through and talk into the microphone so everyone can hear you.
The city of Hutchinson had selected a portion of the city to stop the blight, and the area they selected was between 4th and 11th and Main to Cow Creek. It's a pretty large area, and they were looking for leaders to fight the blight. There are many rentals in the area as well as homeowners, and the need to get together to make the area more presentable would take quite a bit of work. As you see, our neighborhood needs improvements, not only physically but also in need of people who care about what goes on in the neighborhood. This particular block has many lower income rentals, which people move in and out constantly, and there's a lot of vandalism, drugs, and other things going on. It's a battle all its own. The first garden was on an empty lot. This lot had a rundown house that sat empty for 27 years, and neighbors constantly complained about the condition of the house. We had skunks, possums, and pigeons living in it as the roof and the roof was caved in also. One day it caught fire, and later the city bulldozed the house. That's a good way to get the neighbors out on the street. My daughter had went back to school for her master's degree and made a decision to put a garden on the empty lot. With her own funds, she purchased the wood and fencing and contacted neighbors if they wanted to join in the community garden. She had three families plus Head Start the first year. Some of them were first-time gardeners. The city invited my daughter and I to a NeighborWorks America Leadership Institute in Florida, paid by NeighborWorks America. We learned how other communities across the nation make better neighborhoods, and one of the main things we learned that gardens were one of the best ways to build up neighborhoods. One spring day, we had a city dump truck parked next to this garden and contacted neighbors so they could use the truck to clean up their home and yard. It became full fast. At the end of the weekend, we had a s'more party and had a great turnout from neighbors in the area and got to know our neighbors better. We had some surprise entertainment with one of the neighbors playing his guitar and singing. We also found that many of the neighbors could contribute their own expertise to our cause. We also discussed the garden plan and found interesting neighbors, but we were unable to start the garden that summer because of circumstances beyond our control. We are putting raised beds in the garden due to some soil issues, and we have on hold some purchased wood to build more boxes and finish the fencing. The neighbors will have first choice to the garden, and then we'll expand it to other interested parties. Neighbors got together to put up some fencing and plan on finishing it this spring. With limited resources, we did as much as we could last year. We were hoping that we have enough interested community members to expand our project and are looking forward to the spring. We couldn't have gotten started without assistance from the city leaders, Boys and Girls Club, and the Hutchinson Public Library, and other donors who remain nameless. This is our special garden pump. We had contacted a local plumber and found that it took a special water spout in this area due to some federal regulations. The water spout used up a big portion of our grant funds, and a local plumber and a backhoe operator graciously provided free labor to get it installed.
We were given the opportunity to go to Sacramento and learn about different tools we can use to better our community and learn what works and what doesn't work, and to learn how to get our community involved and with their families. At this leadership, my mind went blank. We had a banquet, and they fed us so much food. The awards banquet was wonderful, and as they presented the awards to the people, they explained why they deserve these awards, and it was amazing the things that these people have done in their communities. This is a picture of Pam and her roommate. We got to learn about all different types of people and get to meet them and find out what their communities were up against and learn what works for them and learn how to head off at the pass some of the things that were coming up in our little neighborhood. We got to go on tours, take a bus tour, and they were about 2 hours long on average. And we got to go into little communities and see firsthand how these plans worked. And get ideas for what we might be able to do here in our own community.
Our plans for the near future are to finish the garden by the library and to plant flowers and succulents between the fence and the curb. And we hope this will give some privacy in the garden and also help beautify the area. A sign with our logo is being painted to place on 10th Avenue in front of the garden. We hope it will generate interest and possibly stimulate enthusiasm for gardens in other neighborhoods as well. I was worried about doing it. We are planning an alley cleanup project for a Saturday morning this spring. There will be a Sloppy Joe lunch for all those who help. This will be a great time to get better acquainted, get feedback, and learn of other neighborhood concerns. We will paint addresses in the alleys, on fences, garages, or sheds for those who desire them. This will help utility and emergency workers find the correct properties when the need arises. My husband suggested this because he was a lineman for 34 years, and the properties look much different in the front than they do in the back. We have a lot of pedestrian traffic on our dark streets, and we want to provide low-energy light bulbs to those who will leave their porch lights on all night long. This will make the streets safer and might also cut down on the vandalism and the drug traffic, which has really become a problem. We've only just begun. Watch as we progress with our work to include the entire area, as Pam said, from 4th Avenue to 11th Avenue and from Main Street to Cow Creek. And we hope that you will support us in our cause. Thank you.